And what's worse? Jimmy Joe Flint, first time guest. A warm welcome to you. The rematch, Jimmy. Last time I was sat at the press conference and I saw you two going at it. You really put the press conference up a level or two. Talk to us about last time, because I like to go back before we get to the present.
Boxing's a business, isn't it? You got to sell yourself. You also got to sell the fight. That's what I've done. I'm quite surprised this time that Campbell hasn't really done that. You know, it's in his city. I'm surprised he hasn't tried to sell the fight more. But it is what it is. And like I say, the press conference, we're here. We'll see what happens.
You were confident going into the fight last time. I know people have probably said that to you 1,000 times, but I remember sitting there because I hadn't seen much of you. I will put my hands up and I was thinking, this guy is coming to win. Mm-hmm. Usually when somebody's at the early part of their career, I get it, the matches are there, but the opponent doesn't necessarily come with that vim, I'd call it, to win. But you had that from the start. The opportunity, Jimmy Joe. Talk to us about that.
Yeah, I just believe it was the wrong choice to put Campbell in with me that early on. Because, you know, I'm not going in to roll over and get beat. Yeah, I've 2 defeats on my record, but I don't go to lose. And same with Saturday night, like, I'm not going to lose, I'm going to win. And I'm going to make sure I come out on top.
The last fight then, you're in there, and it was a good fight to watch. And what I will say, I thought Campbell put on a really good... He had to dig deep in that fight, and that was the best that I've seen him box throughout his career so far. But you're in that fight with him. Tell us what you're seeing and how you're feeling about that fight as the rounds are going on. I know you got the UD win, so it was clear. But talk to us about you in that fight.
I knew he was going to come out how he did, like a little wild pit bull. And like I say, he faded like we knew he would. And then we took over down the straight and we pulled away. Not with ease, but it was like I was a clear winner. We didn't need to answer any questions or anything like that. And I brought the best out of him that night. And he had to dig deep. Saturday night he's going to have to dig even deeper because there's a better me coming again.
I'm not asking you to spill any beans about camp because I know you can't. Look at that little wry smile. But when you talk about preparing going in for a match, and I asked him the same question, it's a good thing because you know what your opponent brings. So you've sort of had a little bit of time to learn them and study them. So if you're watching the tape back, you might even notice little intricate things that you can monopolise on. But then it's also a bad thing because he knows that he doesn't want to have 2 back-to-back losses. And then talk about yourself, the risk of going in after winning it on points and it potentially not going your way this time. In the balance?
Not really, because boxing isn't my bread and butter. I've got a roofing business, so if,
I might send you a message after.
if things don't go my way, I can always fall back onto that, you know. I've got a fan.
Have that hunger though? Then Jimmy Joe, when you how do you have that roofing business and then still come into boxing?
Because I don't deal with it when I'm boxing. I leave my dad and my brother to do that, so that's always there. That's there as a backup plan. And boxing, I'm here to make the best for me and my family. You know, I go as far as I can go with the backing of them. As long as I've got the backing of my family, my little girl, as long as I do my little girl pride, I don't really care. Like I say, I find it a bit disrespectful that they've asked for the rematch this soon, because I thought he would have learned his lesson after the first fight, and then he's chirping off saying that he's going to stop me late on and whatever else. I've never been stopped in my career. If he's going to do that, then fair play to him, but he's going to have a really, really big shock. And with him saying that throughout camp, it's just given me the extra kick up the arse. You know, there's them then sessions where you turn up, you don't want to do it. Every session I want to get in, I want to get the best out of me. I'll give 110% throughout camp. And Campbell Hatton's in for a very, very, very tough night, Saturday night.
It was a UD last time, and I'm going to ask the question, would it be safe to say this time that you're going to potentially go for the stoppage?
If the stoppage is there, I'm going to take his chin clean off.
No love lost between you two then?
No love lost. I respect the man. I respect anyone who puts on a pair of boxing gloves and gets in the ring. We're putting our lives on the line at the entertainment of everyone else, but he's in my way now.
I'm not asking you to overlook him, even though you're confident you're going to go in there and it's going to be a repeat. What do you see happening with your career? What do you want to do, Jimmy Joe? Like I said, this is the first time I've spoke to you, and you've got a business, you've got your plan B. Or is boxing your plan B? What is it with you, Jimmy Joe?
Roofing's the plan B. like I say. But with me, obviously every fighter would love the British title. It's like a world title. But I've got a fight Saturday night, and Campbell's going to come like shit off a stick Saturday night. You know, he's got something to prove. He can't go out losing to me. If another loss back to back with me, and his career's basically over. But like I say, I'm not overlooking anyone. I know he's gonna come improved, but down the straight I've got his number, and if the stoppage is there, I'll be taking it.
I'm really looking forward to this fight because I know we will be entertained. Listen, thank you so much for taking the time to speak to me. Pleasure to meet you, and all the best on Saturday night.
Thank you very much for having me.
People say I'm toxic, and honestly, I don't care.